Share the camera sort of thing? Or?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Cool. Okay. So hey guys, there's all 5 people watching there now, so that's pretty cool. This is good though because we're going to record this, and this is the first session, so we didn't want to broadcast this on a newsletter or anything. We didn't want anyone to know that we're doing it because there's going to be a lot of bugs. It's not going to work out as planned, but we have some ideas for tonight just to goof off and have fun because we do this every Friday night anyway. Right. So I think the first thing we'll do is maybe we'll give a tour of the office and walk around because this is recorded for the future. So anybody who doesn't see it today can come back and visit. So yeah, you guys have never seen the place. So why don't we do that? So why don't you grab my laptop and I'll just carry the camera. Sure. Okay, so here we go. All right, so go over here, grab the cable and hold it like this. Okay, so this is Jeremy's lab. This is where he works all his magic. We do our Dremeline there. We have a nice toolbox. And that's the in move that Richard had created that we got from him, the bartender. So we can actually take a look at that. We've made a couple changes to it. We have a screen on it now, so it's a touch screen we got from Amazon. And we took the metal distance sensor away. And then for his camera, we changed it out. It's no longer an EZ-Robot camera. It's actually a Microsoft, what's it called?
LifeCam or something.
LifeCam, yeah, that's right. And it's connected over USB to this little mini PC. So we got this mini PC off of Newegg or something like that.
Gearbest?
Gearbest, maybe, yeah. And then we upgraded the EZB V4 to the /2, so it's got the new Wi-Fi communication module on it. And then we soldered the wires directly to the SCC, whatever it is, 32 servo controller. And yeah, and then for locomotion, we have an H-bridge down in the base here. And this is a heavy-duty power supply that powers the computer and all the servos. And it's a digital switching power supply. Then we have a battery as well down there, which will do the motors for the actual.
If you remember, some people remember the snow shoveling robot.
Oh yeah, this is
That's it.
This is the snow shoveling robot. That's right. So we recently hacked all this for an event that I had to do at in British Columbia for the BC Business Summit. And when we did that, we made it so you can control it with Wii controllers, and also using the camera, you can use virtual reality and see what the robot was seeing. So it went really well. And then, so that's all the stuff that Jeremy's working on the board, everything from like the LiDAR and a bunch of crazy stuff you're not allowed to see. Yeah. Jeremy recently did this for me. He built a Robotis Biloid, and we put, oh, it's not on there anymore. You robbed it.
Yes.
There used to be an EZB V4 in the back, but we're going to do a video one day of that, because now with the software we can read the positions of the servos and create frames using the auto positioner and create gates. So I'm going to do a video of that one day soon. Have that set up.
You want to turn off the soldering for a quick second?
Oh.
Since we'll be here for a little while.
Yeah. In Jeremy's desk area, you can see he's got you know, his microscope that he uses for looking at circuit boards and everything, and that's what he's going to hack tonight. His Rob. Yeah. So we're going to start on that tonight for him. He's going to start his own stream right after we're done this, and I'll show you a couple of things I'm going to work on tonight as well. And then here's my station. Whenever we're working on things, I have just a soldering iron. It's kind of lonely compared to what Jeremy gets to work with. A little oscilloscope there, a couple tools inside of a toolbox, and a adjustable power supply. That's about it. And then my shelf has all of my stuff I'm working on, all of my phones. Apparently I have a lot of phones. And there's a Wally robot up there that we're eventually gonna hack. These are all the things that Jeremy's working on for new parts for EZ-Robot, all the clip and play components, temperature sensors, and laser distance readers, and LiDAR, and IPS, internal positioning system. So all that stuff's in there. And what's kind of neat is, what you guys don't know is, when Jeremy builds circuit boards as prototypes, and I can show you how a prototype starts. Like, you look at the Let's look at the, what do you want to go with? The Wi-Fi board, the /2, which guys all love. Well, the /2 starts off, you see all the revisions in here? Lots and lots and lots of revisions. And we'll go through tons and tons of them. And any board that's green, colored like this, is a prototype. So Jeremy has to build these prototypes, and if you look at the connectors on here for all the surface mount stuff, it's really, really tiny. All right, if I come close, let's see if you can see, right? You guys have seen what these boards look like. So he has to solder all these as prototypes. And then if the board is blue, that means it goes from our factory. And if you look at this, this is how we do dev boards. So a dev board is large. It allows us to hook up programmers to it and not have to worry about programming something that's super small and difficult to work with. So we have tons of these different dev boards. So when he does those super surface mount small stuff, he does it on this, which is not for food. This is a toaster oven. So he actually put tiny little circuit boards, PCBs in here with surface mount stuff, heat it up, melt the solder. And it's actually kind of interesting to watch him do it. So that's Jeremy's lab. And we'll leave here, we'll walk out into the main area. So the first thing you see here is Valentine, he's our video producer. So it's late at night right now, nobody's here at the office, just Jeremy and I. So this is where he does all his video editing. So he's got a super powerful PC here with lots of hard drive space and lots of robots, and he's always goofing off. And then we have a data analytics, Tina, she works there. One of our sales, Dylan, works over there. Graphic design. And then around the whole office, you'll see that there's robots I've built. And you'll see here, like this one was made by Anthony, and it's got a little description. And the first Wall-E robot I built in 2008.
Josh helped out a lot.
Josh did a little bit of this too, yeah. So there's all these different robots, and you'll see around the whole office, it's kind of like a museum history to everything that's happened. And I won't go into everyone's office because it's their personal places, but there's a bunch of offices down here. And then you'll see in front of my office here some more robots. I was thinking that we might play with this guy tonight. You guys have never seen this one, but it's pretty cool. It's at least a little robot with a camera mounted inside of here, and it's got lots of servos. I don't know, maybe we'll play with that. We'll figure something out. And then, let's see if I can adjust this. We have some more robots I built, like the Teddy Ruxpin, and the stuff we did with James Patterson for his book. And there's some props from the video that we had done with him. And then some 3D printed prototypes of Roll-E down there. And then the actual real injection molded. And again, there's descriptions on everything. So you see this as a, so when people stop by the office, they can walk through the whole facility and actually see what we're working on. So here is my office. This is where I spend my time when I'm in Calgary. So I'm kind of a old computer nerd. So I built this, it's called MackinBot. It's got an IO Tiny inside of it and a Raspberry Pi, and it runs a full emulated version of Mac OS Classic. And it's also a little robot. You can drive around, and it's got servos in its arms. So it's pretty cool. It's fully functional. It's really neat. And then you may recognize this from one of our videos where we did it with, I controlled the Wall-E robot, and I actually programmed the TRS-80. This is from like 1982 or something like that. It's pretty ancient. And yeah, it's old as Jeremy. And what's really neat about it is we hacked it to actually have a Bluetooth module inside of it. So if you cracked it open, there's Bluetooth. And then these are some robot kit or some computer kits that I built. This is a PDP-8. This is the first computer that like a video game like Space War was built on. And then I created a terminal that I 3D printed that hooks up to it. So I can, right now I have, this is actually Adventure. So you go like north. You can see the computer's thinking, you're at the end of the road again, east.
Oh, so everything's displaying inverted for everybody.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's only for you.
Right?
Yeah, everyone sees it normal. In the preview window, you see it inverted. Okay, so then this is a PDP-11. So neat about this is actually the computer that the internet was essentially built on. This is a TCP and Unix. Everything started on the PDP-11. So the very first version of Unix is running actually on this right now. So I have the very first version of Unix running on there if you are able to telnet into it or hook up to a serial terminal. And I got some robots here. and some more rubber ducks. Let's not talk about the ducks because I remember what happened last time we talked about ducks. I got a lot of ducks sent to me. My desk, yes, there's a Mac there. Don't judge me, but we do have iOS development for our app. And of course, I listen to a lot of records, so turntables on them.
We're up to 7 viewers now.
7 viewers! We're almost famous. And it's kind of neat, actually, when I have meetings with people in different offices, we have these robots, which, just like you've seen in Big Bang Theory, they're telepresence robots. So people can connect to them, and we can see their faces, and they have cameras on them, and they can drive around and have meetings with us. And they're connected to chargers, and they use these little glyphs down here to charge. Auto docking, yeah. So that's the main area of the office. And we'll bounce around over here to the entranceway, and you'll see some more history of the company. You get a couple different Wall-E robots here. This is the original. This is the guy that started the whole thing. You can see he's got the old EZ-B V3 camera in him, and he's behind some plexiglass, and his little note describes what he's all about. And this is, of course, the very first Revolution prototype that I made out of melted pieces of styrene plastic and hot glue. And it has an EZ-B V3. And then here's the history of all of the different EZ-Bs. This is actually Jeremy's. This is Jeremy's area of expertise. This is all of the participation and contribution he had done to EZ-Robot. So you can see here, this is actually all I've ever done. This is the very first version. And when Jeremy saw this, he was just like, "Get rid of it!" And he just chucked it to the garbage. And and then some pretty ones were made from there. And now, of course, these are the two most recent versions of the EZ-Bs that you guys use in your robots. And here's the IO Tiny, right? These are prototypes. You see that they're green, not blue. So they're one of a kinds. And here's the huge one of a kind, which unfortunately the deal fell through with Intel because Intel canceled the product. But this is the Intel Joule-based EZ-B V4, which is a full-fledged Windows 10 PC with a GPU, 32 gigabytes of solid-state storage, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. And it has HDMI and USB. So we were actually really excited about this, but Intel canceled that product, so we never actually got a chance to manufacture these. But we'll revisit it again someday soon. And of course, all the magazines that we've been featured in. This is the very first magazine that started it all. This is like volume 27. So if you guys get a hold of this, and actually, it's interesting. Here, let me set tripod down. Let me show you something, guys. So in this magazine, flip through, we're gonna see, there I am, younger version of me, right? Young DJ. So young DJ, when he was asked to do this article, Teaching Toys Old Toys New Tricks, EZ-Robot hadn't really existed yet. The website was actually declared around the same time, like we put up the domain around the same time as this whole article. But they asked me to build a robot step by step. I did. I built this robot named Digger. And you can see here, I put a little EZ-Robot sticker on it, had EZ-B V3 inside of it. And Digger was the first example that I had used for color tracking with motion. And I wrote the code in the hotel room the day before my presentation at Maker Faire. And Jeremy and I were eating cheesecake because the power went out in the hallway at the hotel. And I had my laptop out that night. And I had this great idea to write this code to make all this work. And I gave the robot to Make Magazine, to the author of the article, for photos. And they emailed me back and said, "We lost your robot. The robot is gone forever."
So sad.
Super sad. So with all the history of robots we have here, okay, everything you've seen, the one robot that's missing that I've built is Digger from that magazine. But have no fear, something very awesome happened today. Check this out. We were at Value Village looking for a robot to hack. Oh gosh, where did it go? And, oh, there it is. And sure enough, on a shelf at the thrift store. Look at this. Can you believe it? It's a little dirty. It's covered in kid snot, but we can clean it up and we can hack it. So we're gonna hack this, bring it back to its original, just like the one that got lost, and nobody will be the wiser. Here's some more robots, as you've seen in the May the 4th be with you. Of course, the Darth Jader and the AT-AT Walker or AT-AT Walker. My Omnibots. And then this is the community area, as you saw in the cameras on the community section. We spend a lot of time in here. We have our company-wide meetings. People do presentations on the screens. This is another robot that I picked up at the thrift store that I'd like to hack. It's pretty awesome. Already, without even needing to hack it, check out how cool it is. Look at this. So it's got a switch on the bottom. Oh, it says some cool stuff. And then when I flick the switch here, right? It's already walking. So we could add some servos to it. We can add a camera. We can make this thing do a lot more than just that. So I'm pretty stoked about this. So we're gonna hack this one probably next week. That's pretty stoked. I'm gonna put this here by all the Christmas cards. Okay. Something else that is gonna be fun for tonight that we're gonna do is we were at one of the thrift stores. It's 20 bucks, a little more than I was expecting to spend at a thrift store, but check it out. A Batman outfit. Apparently this is from Build-A-Bear. And what do you think, guys? Right? Is it gonna fit? We're gonna find out. So we're gonna do that later tonight too. That'll be a lot of fun. And let's see what else we got. Here's the arcade. So my history in my family, we actually, my family and my dad had a bunch of arcades growing up. So for me, this is a pretty big deal to kind of keep that tradition alive. So I have my favorite pinball machine ever, Doctor Who. As you know, most of you know me, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. And then Captain Fantastic, the original uncensored version. So you're not going to be able to see what's on the screen. I got to cover that up. This jukebox, which is actually pretty awesome, solid state. It's a 1952 Model C Seabird Classic. It's run just by tubes, purely mechanical, no solid state whatsoever. And believe it or not, these silver pieces in the middle are actually not metal, they're glass, sprayed with a lead-based probably paint on the inside. And there's one big speaker in the front there. Around the colors that are spinning, there's a little color, like a wheel type thing. And on the bottom are gears. And on the left gear broke. So we had to 3D print a piece to replace that. So it makes a little clunky noise every now and then, but it's fully functional because it's good old classic records in it. And then Bimbo, this is Jeremy and one of our, James, one of our interns from Waterloo University. One night they pulled us in the back. I had it in the back under a sheet and at the old office, and they pulled it out and they said, we're gonna hack this. So they took it all apart. Now it's got a tablet attached to it. And if we crack it open here, I don't know if you can see. Yep. There you go, that's an EZ-BV4. So it's got servos in there and you can control the robot, make it dance. It's really creepy.
There's a whole YouTube video about it.
Oh yeah, there is a YouTube video about that. And this is a really neat video game machine. It's got a computer inside of it with MAME. And I think we have something like 100 and something thousand games. It's just ridiculous. Everything from Galaga to Donkey Kong to elevator action. And if you ever come by the EZ-Robot office, I dare you, challenge all of you to Asteroids Deluxe. If you can beat me, I don't know.
You win a prize.
You win a prize. I'll take you for lunch. I'll pay for lunch. And this is kind of fun. Jeremy got this for me for a gift for my birthday. And it's a Commodore 64. So we've been playing this quite a bit in the past couple days. We had the SID chip rocking some chip tunes yesterday. We had Jumpman going. We were writing some code with the books. We got the Commodore 64 survival guide manual. Some pretty cool stuff here. The original Atari joystick, which is really difficult to use, but this one's a really good joystick. Functional floppy drive. And continue our tour. Oh, this is the TARDIS. So the TARDIS is our boardroom. So because we have staff in Vancouver, in California, we have a lot of meetings in here. So I spend a lot of time in here. We got these custom chairs made for EZ-Robot colors. And now it's going to be all Synthium stuff. So we got a Synthium sign that's going to go up there. And yeah, EZ-Robot's still around, don't worry. Oh yeah, flip the light off. So the reason why we call it the TARDIS, it's, I guess you can't really totally tell, but there's blue lights. Yeah, turn the lights off, but there's blue lights all around the whole room, so it lights up blue in the dark. There's our 3D printers. And before I take you in the classroom, let's take a look at this. So these walls each have screens on them, and it's for all the staff to understand what's going on, essentially. So on the right screen over here, this is all EZ-Robot related stuff. So we have EZ-Robot staff that just focus on the educational products and sales of that. And this is NPS scores that are going by right now, Net Promoter Scores. And then on the Synthium side over here, so these are the most updated posts and images. And then we also have stats like how many apps are created and how many posts there are and how many robots are published and how many what the most popular reviews are, things like that. So we keep track of all that so we understand what we're doing right. So we can try to make continue making the interface and the platform better for you. So you can see there's some graphs there. All right, let's spin around and I'll take you into Professor E from EZ-Robots, from Emily's little room here. And by little, I mean quite large. So this is our classroom. We bring, on the EZ-Robot side of the business, they bring in teachers to teach teachers how to use the product. And here's some stuff that they've been 3D printing. Some 3D printed robots. So pretty wild. Oh, did it go today? Cool. All right. Now let's bring it to the back. I'll show you where we do all of the shipping and receiving and video filming studio.
Our on-air sign up there.
Oh, yeah. So with the lights turned on here, there we go. So we'll bring in pallets of all of our product. They come in, divvy them up, ship them off to wherever they need to go. And this is, of course, just a warehouse. So we keep our furnace back here because you need it in Canada. And then in here, we lock up all our inventory that we use for R&D. And then these are all our supplies for things that, I don't know, kind of junk, actually.
Discontinued stuff.
Discontinued stuff and robots we like to play with and check out. And there's a stormtrooper naked mannequin. Okay, whatever. Obviously, I don't spend enough time back here. And this is the recording studio. So this is what you guys know as for the robot program. So that all happens here. And it's kind of neat. This, I'm flicking on, all the lights turn on, and we record everything here. So this is where Emily, Professor E, does all our stuff. So it's pretty neat. I'm really proud of this space. It was a lot of fun to set up. There we go. And now that's our facility tour. Let's head back into the lab and figure out which robot or what we're going to do first. Okay, so let's set this up here. And I'll put my laptop back and plug it in.
Approach 9 viewers now. That's great.
9 viewers. Don't say anything. You guys can use the chat. You can talk. Type words.
It's not so stuffy.
And we got this for the in-move today, just to make sure that he looks as smart as he actually is. But it doesn't stay. We have to get some electrical tape, I think. Holding on. He looks so surprised.
He's Einstein. We need a wig for him too.
Yeah, what's going on though? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What do we have? A couple things to do.
Excited to do Digger first, or?
Digger. Actually, what I want to do first is I want to put the Batman outfit on the JD
Yeah, sure.
and see if I can see if it fits.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Why don't you set up your stream, do your thing. I'll set up mine and do my thing. Okay. So where do I want to do that? I'll do it at the front.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh. Golden. Okay, let's take you to the front area here. So this is not really much of a hack. This is really just me thinking this is really awesome. And if it fits, it's going to be hilarious. Okay. Oh, what happens if I do this? Infinite! Whoa! Oh, have you guys ever seen this? Look at the size of that 6. Isn't that crazy? Look at the size of these servos. And it's actually clip and play. Isn't that awesome? I made this at my cabin a couple years ago for the Intel Developer Forum. We were on stage with the CEO of Intel. It was actually kind of cool. And we had this robot running around. And at the time it ran one of the Intel Jewels, but now it runs just an EZ-BV4. And the camera moves around because it has a servo in here, and it's on magnets. So that's why the camera is actually attached to this through magnets. Kind of like how the BB-8 drone or BB-8 ball thing works. From Star Wars? Okay, let's see if this fits. Okay, Christmas is over, we can get rid of these. Okay. So this is not a hack. I know I'm gonna, what? So this is not a super fun hack, but this is going to be just hilarious. So I don't want to disappoint you with non-hacks. Okay, so let's first make sure that I can connect to him and make him work here. Make sure he's got him hooked up right. Doo-doo-doo. Because you never know if a robot sitting on my desk or on a desk actually works or not in this place. Looks good. Nope. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Oh, I see. These are hooked up backwards. This leg is supposed to be on this side. So you always have to make sure you test things when you work at a robot lab before you assume that stuff just works in this place. Because there's always somebody changing stuff around. There we go. See that? Oh, even worse. We might have to actually unwrap these so we can figure out which one's what. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. Cool, okay. So since we know that it actually works, let's just disconnect for now. And power them off. And see if we can get this to fit on. Okay. This, I'm so excited. Where's Batman, Bat JD? How are we gonna do this? Let's take his legs off. Or do you think we can put? We can fit it like this. If this works. Oh yeah, this is gonna work. Okay, cool. Okay. Hey Jared, do you know what servo wires for his legs are without me having to load up the software? You do? Okay. Jeremy's got the building configuration in his brain. Here, why don't you just do it? That should be it. Cool. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. So we're going to put, let's put them this way. And that off. The kind of stuff we do on Friday nights. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, this is exciting. All right. There's our in. So this is from Build-A-Bear. That's what the lady at the thrift store said. So if you guys have one of these robots, it looks like their outfits fit. Oh, yes, it does. It's not even difficult to put on. Look at that. Cool, cool, cool. Those... Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, let's make them. Let's turn them on. Okay, back to the app. JD. Nice. So doesn't Batman always think that he can fly? Oh, it doesn't. The weight's a little off, I guess. Yeah. Or maybe it's balance off. Let's try that again. Okay. So because it's a little heavier on one side, because it does actually have quite a bit of weight with this on. So let's try doing a servo profile. So we're going to go into servo profile mode here. We'll create a new one. We'll call it BAT JD. And what I'll do is I'm going to take this 1 foot, because when he wants to balance himself, I'm going to move it in a little bit, so he'll lean more towards the side, the opposite side that he's falling over from. And that might help him. Let's find out. Let's save it and see. So back out. And if it doesn't, we'll just try moving it a little bit further. So let's try this one more time. Nice. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, JD, can you do, or Bat JD, can you do a somersault for me? Let's try it. Where is somersault? There it is. Nice. So now I'll have to leave this here for somebody to discover on Monday morning. They're going to love it. All right. Let's see. Where's the stand? Okay. Bye, JD. We're going to have to do a version of the app where he says, "I'm Batman." Okay, next up, rather than playing with that robot arm, I think we should just dive right into this guy. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I will bring you back into the lab, and don't get too much motion sickness because I'll be moving you around quite a bit tonight. We'll get the Dremel out. We'll start building the robot. All right, Jared, you figure out your camera yet?
No.
There's no such thing as a default camera.
Well, I'm trying to switch the camera view from here and up there. Oh, where have you started recording it? Yes, I did in the stop.
Okay, so you have to start it again because you select your camera when you start the recording. Here, let's move over and help Jared for a sec. Because Jeremy's going to start his hack, so we have to make sure it's working.
Oh, more options.
Yeah, there he goes. But this is loading for you. Oh, there it is. All right, so if you guys want as well, Jeremy will have his live stream up shortly, and he'll be building his ROB Nintendo robot. Okay, so let's figure out what we're gonna do with Digger. Digger is covered in a lot of kids' snot though. It's really dirty. Sticker.
I'm live. I'm gonna share the link on.
Yeah, create a Twitch or a live feed. All right. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so let's get this guy out of the way. Oh, for all you Dynamexel lovers, I know that there's conversations on the forum about what servos we support. Robotis, the makers of the Dynamexels, we've been talking to them quite a bit lately, so they've been really friendly with us. and they've asked us to add support to all their servos. So they sent us one of every type of servo they have. There's a box full of servos in here. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So expect us to make sure that there's support on all the Robotis servos because they have great hardware products. I'm a huge fan of their servos. Okay, so what are we going to do? Oh, hey Perry. Nice for you to join, buddy. I don't know how long ago that message was, but I'm just learning how to do this. So the good news is there aren't a lot of people watching, so we can screw up tonight as much as we want. We could figure it out another day and sort it out. So let's see. I'm going to think here for a second. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to modify the back of the robot here, and I'm going to put a servo here and a servo here. So they're going to be continuous rotation servos. And that's going to be his wheels. And then the front wheels, they won't have, they'll just be like just floating. So they're not going to have any servos attached to them. And then I'll put a camera, kind of like I did in the original version, in his nose here. And battery we'll put inside, and we'll put a switch someplace down here. It looks like there's already a battery door, so we'll probably just keep this battery door closed entirely, and we'll just have a switch here. And then we won't need this anymore. And then there'll be a speaker for, because we'll probably use an IO Tiny. I think an IO Tiny makes most sense in there, because all we need is 2 servos and a camera and a speaker, right? So that's all we need is IO Tiny. If we decided to, we might be able to light up his eyes, actually. We could take the Dremel behind his eyes, and if we're, we can thin it out enough that if we put LEDs back there, his eyes will light up. I might want to do that. And if we end up getting through the plastic entirely, it'll be fine. We'll just put little holes there where his eyes are, and so be it. And there's already a place for the speaker here, which is nice. Some holes. Okay, so I'm going to need battery, LiPo battery, switch, IO Tiny, camera. Oh, I wonder if I can put an RGB 8x8 behind his eyes here. I wonder if it'll light up. Let's try that out later too. Let's take an RGB eyes, not 8x8, sorry, the RGB eyes, and we'll put that up against it and turn it on and see if we can get some sort of pattern of light through here. That might add some expressions. Okay, I'll try that out. So first things first is I need to take this guy apart with a screwdriver. So let me do that. And then we're gonna make a lot of noise tonight because we're gonna get the Dremel going. Ooh, I get excited with Dremels. This is the one. Yeah, that works. And the holes, put my screws in. Oh, Bob Houston's joined. Hey, Bob. You know, Bob, these Friday nights you can just join us too.
Drive all the way down.
Drive down, come say hi. A lot of you guys who just joined recently, earlier on the stream, we gave a tour of the facility. We toured Jeremy's office and the whole Cynthia and EZ-Robot office. So if you get a chance, you can watch the beginning of the live stream and then come back to this if you want. Because there'll be a lot, I'm going to be screwing for the next while. So if you just want to watch me screw, then Whatever, I don't judge.
I'll warm up the coffee then for what's both.
Thanks. Okay, so for those of you guys who just joined recently and don't know why I'm hacking this toy, if you do have a copy of Make Magazine edition 27, the article I was featured in at the beginning of the days of the company, early days of the company, I built this robot for the article, and Make Magazine lost the robot when I shipped it to them for a photo shoot for the article. And this is the only robot that I built which isn't on display because it was lost. And today, while we were at the thrift store looking for something to hack, I just came across this. Jeremy spotted it out of the corner of his eye, and Jeremy says, look, 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 look. And sure enough, this robot, or this toy, was just sitting there. So we're going to hack it today. We're going to do something fun with it. We don't need this anymore.
And one more in 2 minutes. Then grab a drink.
Okay. Want to grab me a glass of water as well? No, actually, grab me a Coors Banquet. Grab me a beer. Yep. Oh, look at that. It had a, I guess it took batteries and had a circuit board inside for whatever reason here. I wonder what it did. Let's try what the sound is. Let's play with this thing for a second. Some double A. Ooh. Ew, these batteries have seen better days. Yeah, that's what you find when you take old toys apart, right? You guys are all used to that as well. Moosehead? I don't drink the skunky beer. Anything that comes in a green bottle is not beer. That doubly goes for Heineken. So none of you can judge me for having a beer on a Friday night because I'm not changing my ways just because we're doing this live feed anymore. This is my Friday night. This is how I enjoy my time. Okay, let's put some batteries in here and see what kind of noises this stupid thing makes.
Testing. Okay.
All right. Okay. Pull on this and it's supposed to do something. Maybe there's a ton of acid on the batteries. It's not. There's no switch. Maybe it doesn't work anymore. Let's find out. Let's see if there's power going. Check and just make sure power is going to the store. Yep. It's getting juice. Maybe it's the switch. We've got a bunch of kids snot under the switch. Let's find out.
Gonna have to end the stream because there's no audio. Darn.
You can't hear your own audio.
Yeah?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so for whatever reason, this board doesn't work. So that's not that we needed it, but I was curious of what kind of noises it made. It moved itself every time I turned away. It's a haunted robot, haunted toy.
All right, we're gonna start working on ROB. I'm gonna hack a Bluetooth speaker into them. Maybe my new Alexa robot.
So for everyone who's watching my channel, if you guys check the Cynthium homepage right now, you'll find out that Jeremy is also streaming his build over there.
You can see DJ's build in my view as well. Some of that.
So he wanted to check out between the two streams and see what's going on between Jeremy's build as well. I won't be insulted. I'll just cry myself to sleep later tonight. Don't worry about it. See this speaker here? I think I'm going to keep the speaker because even though we're going to have the Iotani and the Iotani has a speaker, this is going to be bigger and louder. So if you want some audio, it's probably good for us to keep that speaker. Let's do it. And there's a board here. What is this? Oh, it's a capacitor. I wonder what this was. Just a filter. There's no motor. I wonder why. Okay, so we're just going to cut speaker wires here. Jeremy has cookies. Everyone over there.
I got only 2 people.
Are you bribing everyone to go to your stream, Jeremy? Is this going to become a challenge between the two of us to see who can get the most views?
We'll see.
I'm going to have to start getting some, I don't know, some dancers behind me or something. Somebody obviously better looking than me to lure people in. Okay.
I like your commentary better than mine.
Is it commentary or I just talk too much?
It's commentary. Soothing.
Okay, so I need some servos. Jerry, where am I going to find some continuous rotation servos?
Right over here.
Nice. Thank you. Okay, so we got a couple of these, and then I also have a ton of adapters because every time we get a servo, you know, we ship like I don't know how many tens and tens and tens of thousands of servos a month, right? So we get all the adapters in the world. In fact, we throw more out than we keep, which is unfortunate, but we have a lot of servo adapters in here we can use.
Limit switch here. Limit switch, power switch, motor drivers. This might be a little to the head.
Check your chat and see if anyone's saying if they can hear you or not.
Yeah. Not yet.
Okay. Ask them. Say, can you hear me?
I did.
Oh.
And then you spotted it.
Okay. Maybe that's how I can keep people coming to my stream. Is I actually have sound. I can have music playing. We don't have any music playing. This is weird. It's weird for us not to have audio. Some dubstep or some old 60s rock. I mean, every day it's something different. Okay, so these are the old continuous rotation servos, right?
Yes, they are.
These are first generation 360 degrees. So these ones are really fast, which means that this guy's gonna rock it. Okay, because the newer ones, we purposely slowed down for AdventureBot. Let's get rid of these.
This board. I'll go my own way.
Go my own way. Okay, so it looks like they're a little wider than the wheels. So what we'll do, how about these front ones? Yeah.
So you guys can see over here.
Okay, so I know what we're gonna do. There's a screw here, I'll take this out.
So I'm not going to use this board. I'm going to save the switch on the power switch.
Doo-doo-doo.
It's going to be faster just to cut it out and save the power now. Got some long leads, so it's fine. There you go. Fit right in there.
These cheap toys from China use the worst screws because they're kind of like use once, because they're made of such soft metal that even if you strip it the tiniest little bit, kind of SOL.
So I'm not going to need the battery bank here. Just going to use LiPo battery. But I guess the other still works without that. Alright. See here motor here. See that takes care of the spin. We can test that.
My view count went down, Jer. People are
Oh.
viewing you now more.
No,
What the heck?
it's only two.
It's you and Terry.
I boosted your numbers. I'm viewing your stream, so gotta be mine. Follow for follow.
I don't want to use the bandwidth on yours. So this is not going to be easy to get off.
Oh, I'm charging a battery for you. In case you need a battery.
Yeah, I do. I also need a power harness with a switch.
I think I have. Oh, I have one over here. Oh,
I do. Power harness with a switch.
The batteries aren't full yet, but you know, if you want one yet. Let me know. I'm good.
I'm going to figure out how to get this off.
Let's see what happens when I put these wires directly to this voltage.
I know we're going to get this off. I'm going to Dremel this off. Let's go play with Dremels, guys. Let's get the leg off first.
No. Oh, it's spinning around. Come back.
Let's do that. Let's go play with the Dremel.
There we go. For those of you watching my stream, it's about to get hot in here.
Cover yours, guys. Safety glasses. Safety first. Perfect. There we go. There's one. Am I going to be lazy and try to take it off with this on? What do you guys think? How lazy am I? Do this first. Oh, I'm sure that sounds amazing for all of you. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I have to undo that screw. Okay, let's undo that screw and then we'll do the rest of this.
I recently found that if you use a Bluetooth speaker attached to Alexa, you can have a mobile Alexa. So I'm gonna make my ROB be that Bluetooth speaker and gonna be my mobile Alexa.
Who's talking over there?
That's my Bluetooth speaker. Turn it on when I flip it over. Bluetooth. Funny thing about the speaker is that it has a voice that's English, and then it has a voice that has an accent after.
Bob, you should do a live stream with one of your InMove robots someday, or you too, Perry. I mean, I'm guinea pigging this whole live stream thing, so I'm taking all the risk out. Which means you guys could start doing it too. Because you can't look like a bigger fool than I am. I'm here. I'm hacking a Playskool toy. Come on, you guys have real robots.
Closer to the camera. So the silicone was actually for protecting it in the shower. And it's a waterproof Bluetooth speaker. May have to use the drum for this.
Maybe we can heat it up. This is the heat torch here. You wouldn't know where to start. Sure, Bob, you underestimate your ability. You impress us with your robots all the time. All I actually did was visit YouTube /webcam, and it actually just uses whatever webcam you have, and then you specify inside of the Cynthian website that you want to host the event, and then the rest is easy. Get away from my laptop. Let's see if that loosens up enough to get it out. There we go, look at that. Easy peasy, garbage. Okay, so now probably gonna just use a Dremel and trim this up anyway. What is that heat gun thing? How do I hide buying IoTiny from my wife? Well, I guess to hide buying IoTiny from your wife, since it's so cheap. What is an IoTiny, like 29 bucks? 25 bucks? So what I would suggest doing is buying about 100 of them, so it turns into like $2,000, and then just get in trouble for one thing, which is something like maybe a gambling addiction or something like that. And then your wife will put you into some sort of hobby, and then you can just spend all your time at home building robots. And she'll be like, wow, Perry, you're doing such a great job because you no longer have an addiction to gambling. Instead, you're building robots. I wouldn't take that advice at all, though. It's creative, though. Bingo. See, I I'm a very creative individual. Okay. So next thing we have to do is you got to figure out with all of these bits here, move the camera over, what bit we want to put inside the wheel here. One of these stars, or a circle, this really big circle. Oh, look at that. Looks like it was made for it. But if we do that, we have to trim all this down. If you wanted to hide it from your, hide it in a thread, or contact me directly, I think I can help. Okay, let's see if I can cut all this material out from here inside.
I'm trying to remove the battery in this thing, which is silicone down.
Let's do this.
There we go. Free. Also mark which side is negative. Put it back together or we'll make it later.
See, I think I would play music right now, Jared, but I think everyone probably is listening to their own music, and then they'd have to be stuck listening to mine.
You got some good.
My wife wants to know what you would want this dog to do when you're done. Her name is Beth. Hey, Beth. Perry, did your wife catch the reason why I'm building the dog? About the magazine? Logged in late. Okay, because she was doing her hair. Definitely your wife. Okay, so there's a magazine. Here, actually, I'll grab it. This is kind of fun. Check this out.
Oh man, Bluetooth speaker is silicone everywhere.
All right, I'm back. Oh, to run across around the building. Okay, so this is, you guys might have seen this magazine in volume 27 of Make. And a young version of me. Where am I? There, right? They asked me to build a robot for the article. And you can see around the office, you know, the videos of the robots I built. And the robot that I ended up building, see the pictures here, was this, Digger. And when they asked me to send this robot to them for the photo shoot, they lost it. It never actually ended up at their facility, or it did and somebody took it home, or they misplaced it, who knows. So the pictures in the article actually were the pictures I took with my camera before I shipped it off to them. And this robot was lost for good. So today, Jeremy and I were walking through the thrift store looking for a robot to hack, and he pointed out, sitting on the bottom shelf in the corner, was the exact same robot. So it was kind of a calling to rebuild it and do the exact same thing I did last time. So I'm doing it from memory because I don't really recall what I did. Let's go back to the article here. I'll show you something. So you can see the camera, the old school camera. See the size of it? It's a lot bigger than, and the old EZ-B too. Look at the size of that thing. It barely fit in there. It was just the perfect size to fit in. Really lucked out. And then if we go back on one more page here, you'll see the old EZ Builder. Look at that. You actually had to select your controls from a menu. It was a very, very old program back then. And down here, you can see that it's tracking the object. So the day that I was supposed to do the presentation at Maker Faire in San Mateo, I was at the hotel, the power went out. Jeremy was down there for Solar Robotics at the time, and he was staying in the hotel with me. We barely knew each other, eh, Jer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just met each other really around that time. And Jeremy and I sat in the hallway eating cheesecake.
You remember that you were in your boxers at the time?
And I was in my boxer shorts, yep. Because the power went out, and I said, screw it, no one can see me, I'm in my underwear. We sat in the hallway eating cheesecake, and I had this idea of a robot being able to track colors. So I actually used this robot, like the one that got lost, for the prototype on that code. I wrote that code that evening, and then I proofed the code out in the morning. And then that afternoon, I did a presentation in front of hundreds of people at Maker Faire, and it worked. So that was fun days. So reliving the past. The dog moved again when you were gone. Just saying. Here, we could fix that. Love the robot dog hack with Easy Builder. Thanks for sharing, apart from the boxer short story. I wasn't going to add that. That was all Jeremy. I can thank Jeremy for.
Come on, we're just having some fun.
At my expense.
Well, that was actually a pretty cool time because you had gotten a room with a boardroom beside it somehow.
Oh yeah, I lucked out. I think I flirted with the girl at the counter. We pulled in late. I drove actually. I drove my Audi all the way from Calgary, and I drove by myself. And Mark drove his M3, his BMW M3. And it was fun. We were racing through the streets. It took us no time at all to get to California. I don't suggest or recommend to do what we had done to get there so fast. And I got to the hotel, and it was late, and I was tired, and I think I had a case of beer under my arm. And I said to the lady's like, we don't have any rooms available. Make this big conference is coming through. And I said, yeah, I know the big conference is coming through. I'm speaking at it. I'm like the star of the show. She's like, really? What do you do? I said, I build robots. And I showed her one of the robots in the back of my car because it was parked right out in front. And she's like, oh my God, you guys are crazy cool. You're super cool. She's like, well, we do have this one room, and it was the business suite. And she said, we only reserve it for business meetings and things like that. And remember how big it was, Jared? It was just massive.
Yeah.
They had a boardroom attached to the room.
10-chair boardroom.
10-chair boardroom, yeah. And they brought us like drinks and coffees and like teas and whatever we needed. And we sat up there and hacked on it and drank beer and ate cheesecake. And just for you, Peter, I was in my boxer shorts.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Remember I brought a touch screen that you were going to use, but it didn't end up working out, I think. It was just Windows XP compatible or something.
That's right, yeah, that touch screen. Man, I think I spent all this time just cutting apart all these pieces of plastic.
Well,
Boring Friday night.
I made a big mistake here. I thought I had to cut into this Bluetooth speaker. Got
Hey,
my
Bruce.
exactly out, and turns out it has screws. And I wasn't.
I'm trying to get all this material out of here. You know, the great thing about watching pre-recorded video is that you don't have to actually watch all the boring stuff like this.
There we go. We're in. We are in.
Okay. I feel good about that. So we got these big ones like this. I feel like that's kind of a waste to use one of these big, massive ones because it fits so well. Let's use.
1860 battery in here.
Use a star like this. So we have to put a hole in the middle so we can access the screw, so we can screw this onto the servo after it's done. So let's go to the Dremel and let's cut holes in both of the wheels.
Oh. I need some 1850 battery in here.
No way!
Pretty large speakers.
Huh. Okay, so you cut a hole in this one. You see all that material? I pulled it with the pliers. I'm going to see if I can get it done quicker using the Dremel. So for all of you with your speakers on, you might want to turn your volume down. There we go. Okay, hit mute now, everyone. Okay, so I tried cutting away this material with the Dremel, but it looked like it was going to take a lot longer than I wanted to spend on it. So I'll just grab the pliers and do it that way. So I got this hole in the middle. We can access the screw now.
Actually, did you do a live stream at the Maker Fair event that time?
No, I didn't do the live stream at the Maker Fair. I did the no, I did a live hack at not Toy Fair, Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
I built the R2-D2. Doesn't look like my shop. It's too clean. Well, Bruce, that's because you can thank this guy. This guy over here. Jeremy keeps this place spotless. Only because I cracked the whip.
Yeah, that's true. He likes it well organized.
You're right. It's very clean.
He wants to come in here and instantly do some work. He doesn't want to have to clean some stuff up.
That's right.
And that's...
My speaker's glue. I hope you can send me 2 of those little things that come with our tinies to replace my Pioneer 18-inch subwoofers.
That's pretty good.
Sure, Perry. Just send me the 3D print files and I'll 3D print. Jeremy hates it when I say EZR. Is that true?
I correct him.
Oh, you correct him?
I don't know if I hate it.
I've only seen Jeremy mad, I think, one time. I don't think he hates anything.
That's true.
Except for when I tell him he has to keep his stuff cleaned. Oh, I know one thing you hate.
What's that?
You guys want to see what Jeremy hates? Let me see if I can show you anything.
When he turned his soldering iron up to 900?
Oh, okay, there's 2 things Jeremy hates. One, you look at my soldering iron. I keep that at 900 degrees. I keep it as high as it goes. I don't have time for solder to melt. Come on. So I use so much of that solder paste, whatever that stuff is called. Silver tin. Tip tinner. I use so much of that to keep my tip nice and clean because it just turns black because it's like a volcano. Jeremy hates when I do that. The other thing he does not like is, now, for any of you guys who joined late, you missed this. We did a tour of the facility. You can go back in time and take a look on the video stream. But these are all the projects that Jeremy has ongoing. Okay, and I have him put each project in its own box. Okay, but sometimes a project needs its own box. But let's take a look. This project is called the Roomba cable. It literally is like a couple cables inside of a box. That's all it will ever be. It's a cable that you can plug into a Roomba to the IO Tiny. Because a box is so big and has so much empty space in it, he'll sometimes group boxes together. He gets mad at me when I tell him it has to be in its own box. It's like, it's a waste of space.
It's true. Be space efficient.
He really doesn't like that. So sometimes what happens is I'll come into the lab and I'll look for something. And let's see if I can find an example of that. I'm lucky. I know there's one in here because I came across it that one day. Unless he cleaned it up and fixed it.
One with the
just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. No, I was looking for a sensor. I don't know. I think Jeremy hit it on me. Probably because what I'll do is I'll leave a note on his desk, and he'll show up on Monday morning, and he'll just be like, "Oh."
Sometimes you leave 3D printing drawings on my desk as well.
I leave stuff in Jeremy's desk all the time.
Getting these speakers out of here is tricky. So come in.
One of those bins should have been filled with craft dinner. Do you like craft dinner, Perry?
I grew up on craft dinner.
So did I. That's why I like, you know what I grew up on though was not the good craft dinner. I grew up on the orange craft dinner.
Well, that's all we had.
No, the white craft dinner is like gourmet.
No, it's like gourmet.
White craft dinner, man. If I went to my friend's house and his mom made white craft dinner, I didn't want to leave. I thought they were rich. Oh, your family's so rich. You have white craft dinner. And like white chocolate? Oh. My mom used to tell me that white chocolate was only for adults.
Oh, man.
Your wife is from Nova Scotia. Did they eat a lot of craft dinner in Nova Scotia? I think I'm learning something new about Nova Scotia right now.
Do they have milk in a bag in Nova Scotia?
I don't know if they have milk in a bag. We have milk in a bag in Thunder Bay, Ontario, where I'm from. In fact, I offered to 3D print. I have to do this for my mom for Mother's Day. I have to 3D print her a milk bag container.
Oh,
Yeah, because when we were kids, we had this milk bag, or milk container for the milk bags, and she still has it, but it's all like cracked, and she won't get rid of it because she says it's the only, she can't find a replacement because of its size. She says the only one that's tall enough where the bag doesn't like bend when you try to pour the milk. It's tall enough to support it, so she can't find one that isn't that tall. So I told her I'll 3D print her one.
So great. Do some hot oil in the speaker separated.
This is what it must be like to work in a factory in China. Sitting there doing like one simple task all day. Why do we do this as a hobby? Just hack stuff. People get paid for this.
This when you do something that you love, you just do it.
It's true. A lot of my friends don't understand. I think I lost a lot of friends when I started this company because they'd be like, "Oh, let's go to the bar tonight. Let's go get some chicks, get some ladies. Ladies are out, holla, get some milkshakes." And I'd be like, "No, I'm just gonna stay home. What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna cut plastic with a pair of pliers out of an old toy that I found at this thrift store and turn it into a robot using the most advanced robot platform on the planet."
I don't think they had a response today.
No, they don't have a response. They just laugh. "Oh, you're so funny, dude." Whatever. How's that robot thing coming along? Got that robot company still? Yeah, sorta. What's a robot company do? What do you guys build? We're just replacing humans. Don't worry about it.
I thought we were making the world a better place.
Response from friends. So you built her yourself? No response for that. It's funny because I do have a like a strong opinion on robotics for warfare, right? You guys have seen a lot of videos where I speak on that. I really don't agree that robots should be used for warfare. I mean, we spent, like, as a society, we've been advancing technology for so long, doing so many amazing things. Like, we have cable spread under the ocean, right? Like, we've wrapped the planet in our technology, literally like a blanket. We've knitted bits of zeros and ones through mountains and through oceans. Meanwhile, we still feel like we have to use the technology because of a difference in opinion, whether it be religious or not. It's just, or political. Like, there are other ways to solve problems. Now, that is a strong opinion. However, sex robots, I really don't have a strong opinion towards those. Or maybe I do. Maybe it's just not a bad opinion. Maybe I support it.
Well, I don't. Well, that's all right.
A triangle garbage can. That's the highest tech thing I've ever seen so far. Yeah, man. It's because bling bling. Nothing but triangles here. It's like white craft dinner. Okay, so now let's get some screws. Actually, we'll just hot glue these in. Let's do that. And then, oh, look at this. Put this on, put that in. It kind of almost touches the blue, touches this here.
All right, I'm gonna have to find some space for these speakers.
What am I gonna do about that? Nothing. I think it's gonna be fine.
Holes can get rid of here. So, holes from what side here?
I could do this. Wait, let's glue. Where's hot glue, Jeff?
Right over here.
Okay.
Get rid of these posts here. Use eye protection.
Eye protection when I hot glue?
Has to be the googly eyes.
Eye protection?
Eye protection.
You want some elastic bands for that?
Here. See if we can make this work. Okay.
Hold on. Here, wait.
Don't duct tape it to my head.
No, I'm gonna do it like this so it doesn't stick.
Oh, nice.
Now put it on so I know how long it has to be. I feel like this could be an episode of Jackass any moment here. People on my stream have no idea what we're actually doing.
That's true.
There you go.
Give them the play-by-play. We're duct taping, we're electrical taping, some googly eyes, or whatever. What do you call these things?
Those are your safety glasses.
Yeah, safety glasses.
I use electrical tape and I tape them to the back of Jeremy's head so they don't fall off.
Yeah, just because I'm cutting plastic here, I don't want it to hit my eyes. So his nose makes it hard to breathe, though.
This is not about you.
This is your stream.
All right, so let's glue this in. Why don't any of our glue guns work anymore?
Oh, they do.
They work for you, they don't work for me.
You just gotta push that little glue stick down there. There we go.
So push your mom.
That's appropriate.
It's Friday night. I'm not apologizing for anything.
Hey, isn't there like some sort of like
Rule? No.
No, you're supposed to like.
EZ-Robot had rules. This is not EZ-Robot. This is Cynthia.
Well, it says there's a disclaimer. You're supposed to check the box. It says.
What? I talked about your mom. She's a nice lady.
Everything everything is going to be something appropriate.
This is something appropriate. Acknowledging people's family members.
All right, let's clean up this desk a little bit.
Let's clean up the stream. All right. There's one servo.
Oh, I'm surprised I still have 2 viewers. Thank you, viewers, for watching my stream. My sad screen.
Don't be like that. Your stream's great.
Oh, you got 9. Look at you go.
Because I paid everybody.
I think I'm going to put one speaker back here. Not sure about the other speaker yet.
Jeremy has his act together, back off. I remember losing my shorts and only found my shoes, and I looked at the under filing cabinet. Using hot glue is like deciding you will never try another sit-up in your life. Let me tell you a secret about hot glue. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but let me see if I have a...
This company was built on hot glue.
This company was built on hot glue. We built this company on hot glue.
Built this company.
So this is Jeremy's booze. This is his rubbing alcohol. He keeps it on his desk. And no, he doesn't use it as breath freshener. He uses it to get rid of hot glue because I hot glue everything. Like I just, whenever we make something and the wires are too short, I'll give you an example. Here's our here. This is an IO-Tiny. This is an IO-Tiny that's been modified so we can program it using a programmer on the computer. And see all that hot glue? Okay. I just hot glue stuff because I don't want it to break or fall off because I'll travel, put this on my luggage, my carry-on. I just cover in hot glue. Look at that. Love it. Yeah, I get that hot glue over here.
PJ has a romantic relationship with hot glue.
I probably do need some help with hot glue. So, and now it's done. If you want to get it off, because Jeremy always says get off my hot glue, because you spray it with rubbing alcohol. You do that, it doesn't actually make the hot glue fall apart, but it separates it from whatever it's attached to. And now, if you have hot glue and you want it to dry quickly, oh, we don't have any. Darn. Okay, if you ever want hot glue to dry quickly, those cans of compressed air, you hold it upside down and just spray, and it'll actually get cold, right? When you spray compressed air upside down, and it'll freeze it. So, 2 secrets about hot glue. Don't knock the hot glue. Geez, if I release all my secrets in one video.
What are we going to talk about next week?
Yeah, next week will just be me sitting around eating Dorito chips. Uh-oh. See, this is really tight against the servo. I think we have to trim this down. So let's grab these, trim this down here.
All right, separate these 2 pieces here. This will make it easier to hack for sure.
The cleaners love coming here on Saturdays after our Friday hack days. All these pieces of plastic just fly all over the floor. I'm sure they just love it. So I went out of town for the holidays, and I have 2 Roombas in my house. One Roomba is on the 2nd floor and one on the main level, and they're on timer, so they turn on every day at 10 a.m. on weekdays. I came home after being gone for 2 weeks, and the curtain in my bedroom I guess just the way it was up against the corner of this couch I have in my bedroom, the Roomba ate it.
No.
But it didn't stop there. Like, I guess it ate it enough that it just started like pulling strands of it and separating it into pieces.
Oh, no.
And then over time, eventually those strands just got like cut up more and more and more. And then when I came home, I had little, and the Roomba just stopped picking stuff up because it stopped working, right? It just died. And I had strands all over my upstairs of my house of this blue curtain. It was just threads like everywhere. I should have taken a photo of it. It wasn't as bad as the day at that time my furnace stopped working when we were in New York at Toy Fair.
Yeah.
And my dishwasher froze because my furnace, exhaust fan on my furnace stopped working. And I have this video of my main level of my house. It's all hardwood floors. The main level of my house was entirely a skating rink, a thin sheet, like about 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters of just ice. And I was breaking, maybe it must have been a half a centimeter of ice, and I was breaking chunks of ice apart and throwing them out my back deck while I was waiting for the furnace repair guy to come. That was one of the coldest winters we had too. It's like minus 30 or something like that, minus 40. It's cold. It was a good welcome home present anyway. Fortunately, my hardwood had no damage.
PDP, Pedro's here
On your channel?
on your channel.
Ah, PDP, what's up, buddy? PDP, you're gonna have to go and ask somebody else what we're doing. I've had to say it too many times.
We're hacking.
We're hacking. Okay, so this one's done.
Holy. Look at all these gears, DJ, in the ROV.
Let's take a look at Jeremy. What's he up to?
Take it apart. Oh, man.
You don't need those gears. You're not going to use them, are you?
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to keep it that way.
Put servos in there.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, if you guys want to see how an old timer barely hacks a robot, watch Jeremy's stream. You want to see cool hacks?
Totally destroy the robot and rebuild it again from scratch.
Yeah, that's what you do. You rip it apart. All right, let's get this in here now. So I want that centered.
I'll take some photos here, so I got the wiring. Okay, that's good. Yep. 1 mid switch and 2 motors. That back.
Boom, boom, boom. There we go. So Will sounds like he's having a good time, eh? At CS. It's too bad he wasn't able to make it today. He's probably at a strip club or something. He's in Vegas. Come on, man. What time is it in Vegas now? It's late.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so here's our 2 wheels.
Oh, man, these things have clutches and everything.
Perfect. All right, let's head back to the robot. Oh, lots of conversation since I left. No pizza? Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna have to order food pretty soon.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing pizza tonight for dinner? I think that's what we're gonna have to do. We started sewing classes. Now we're doing bride collage. I don't know what that word means. I got a ticket for advanced robotics demo. Hot glue, the clip-on tie of robotics. We need a plug-in for hot glue gun. You know, PDP, I think you should just make a placebo plugin called the hot glue gun plugin. And it makes all robots that are built with hot glue work really good. AKA every robot I've ever built. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these in here like this, which means we have to we get the Dremel some more. Yeah. All right. Grab a marker so I can mark off when we have the Dremel. There we go. So this is going to go something like this. So we'll put it, I wonder if we should put it up this way. No, this way. I'm going to go something like that. A little bit higher. Will we be able to buy autographed pictures of Jeremy after this? Jeremy, you're gonna make some money, sell some autographs?
Not very much.
What are you talking about? You got fans. You know, for my wife. Sounds like Perry has a rocky marriage. Sounds like his wife is confessing her love for you, Jack. Yeah.
Well,
You homebreaker, Jeremy.
I'm taken already. So.
Jeremy's a
I'm a
homebreaker.
married man.
How many wives can you have?
One.
I don't know.
One is enough for me.
One is enough. Bigamy.
Very flattering though.
I remember watching when I was a kid that cartoon called Tiny Toons Vacation.
Oh yeah, Tiny Toon Adventures.
My wife is not interested in a man that struggles with Python.
Oh, man.
Jeremy is indeed not a programmer. Be kind to Jeremy, please. He's sensitive on that subject.
I don't care. I'm a hardware guy.
Every now and then, Jeremy writes some code, and then he asks, "Oh, did you look at that code I wrote?" And I say, "Nope." Because to save our friendship, it's easier for me never to look at this code.
And that's why I don't wait it here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. Right about there with the Dremel, that whole piece. It's going to be a really interesting cut because there's a lot of crap inside. See all this stuff? It's going to have to cut through all that as well. So I'll be using the Dremel for a bit. So your 8-inch subwoofer or 18-inch subwoofers, you might want to turn those off. So I'm going to turn the Dremel on in a second. All right, turn your audio off, guys. That was a loud one. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. I just gotta cut these little notches off here. Or should we use those notches? You know, let's use those notches for extra reinforcement. So it looks like they're gonna slide back like this. All right. Let's see what that looks like here. Oh yeah.
Your RGB 8x8 guy is perfect in there.
Look at that. There we go. Sweet. All right, now let's get the hot glue ready.
If it smells like burning human flesh, that was me. Burned myself a little. Wasn't being careful enough.
If this doesn't work out for you, you should be a dentist. This
With the Dremel.
With the Dremel, yeah. Mastercraft makes dental tools. Right? It's a thing. Okay, so let's pretend that this is glued in right now. Just pretend. Okay. And we're going to put these legs back, which hook up to here. Look how far that sticks out. It sticks out way further than it used to. So here's what I think we're going to do.
The wire this long.
We're going to end up having to cut this leg in, so it goes in more, and then that will allow it to move up and down. So let's glue these in now. We won't have to worry about them later. Let's make sure we glue it straight. Perfect. Like that. So we'll just grab a glue in the middle. Boop. That allows us just to make sure they're lined up perfectly flat, straight with each other. Okay. That looks good. Nice. Okay. Okay. So now we'll just do this. You know, if I was a dentist, I think I would still use hot glue as well. I'd put
in people's mouths.
Well, some people's mouths. People who needed it.
Oh no. Sir, this root canal is going to only last a couple weeks, but
If I glue your mouth shut, it'll last longer. Remember that meal? It was a Kickstarter project called like Soylent or something like that. You ever heard about that? And Peter, our friend Peter, he actually was eating it. That was like, he did it for like 3 months or something. It was just a bag, like a powder you'd mix with water or something, and it was all the nutrients you would need. So you didn't actually eat any real meals. You just eat this stuff.
wow.
Yeah, like, you know, when you watch space movies and people eat like some sort of weird packet, I mean, they make comments about it. Yeah, I guess it was like that. So I guess if you didn't have any teeth, because I
glued your mouth, your teeth back in your mouth, you could just eat that soil and stuff. Apparently it gave him really bad breath, so he stopped. Yeah, he stopped eating it. I think there'd be some other reasons for not eating it too, like the fact that you'd miss out on eating pizza.
What a weird name. Isn't that Valentine told me about this Soylent Green movie where
Soylent Green, or is like a it's like a commie movie, like Nazi movie, or not Nazi, communist movie, yeah, like in the 50s or something, I think. I don't think I've ever seen it.
he was telling me that in the end, the Soylent Green was actually recycled humans.
Because recycled humans. So why would this Kickstarter project call it Soylent Green? I don't know. It's people in California, they're crazy. Sometimes people, you remember in high school, you always had those people that group of people who wanted to be so different than everyone else. Like, oh, my opinion matters. It's more different than yours.
All they wanted was to be different.
All they wanted, yeah, they wanted to have to get tattoos of all my experiences because they're better than your experiences. There we go. Let's wait for that to dry. We don't need compressed air to dry this quicker, so I have to hold it. You know, if I actually made robots, like personally, and sold them, you know, people always come on the website or they email and they ask, hey, can DJ build me a robot?
Yeah.
I should just send them like a robot made entirely of hot glue. Actually, I should make a robot out of a hot glue gun. Hot glue robot, yeah.
Nice.
Just a glue gun with wheels that drives around.
Remember that robot somebody built that was like a ketchup squirter?
I remember the ketchup squirter robot. It just squirted ketchup like all over the place.
How do you do a robot like that? Squirts hot glue all over.
Oh, I got so much hot glue over my fingers. There we go. Look, it looks like it was made this way. It came right from the factory. Someone's going to open this up and they're like, oh my God. The designer is amazing who made this. All right, get rid of this hot glue. There we go. Okay, so next up, we have to get these feet that has to go in that hole there. Has to attach to this. So what we're going to do is this needs to be like this. So we're going to cut telepresence robots. You know what? We do have telepresence robots. Check out right there. You see there's one there and one there. R2 and D2. You know, we should do that. We should set it up so that people can use the telepresence robots and come visit us.
Come visit.
Yeah.
Get a little closer in on the live stream.
Yeah. Only thing is, we need people's email addresses to do it. So why don't we schedule for next week? Next week we'll have it so that some people can connect in and they can drive the telepresence robot around.
How are we going to choose 2 people?
Well, let's see.
Do we have some sort of randomizer that we can use?
Let's see. The thing is, you don't want to put your email address in the chat here because it'll be in here for public for life. So I don't even remember the company what's the website for the telepresence? It's Om something. OmniLab tools. Let's see, I wonder if there's a way I can.
All right.
Share with. There we go. Temporary invite for 10 minutes. Cool. Okay, now how do I share it with someone?
See if this works. Well, I never used to build with hot glue, but DJ converted me.
David says, Friday night spending at building a robot. Some would see it as sad, but I think it's the best.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. At least somebody feels that way.
It's pretty nice.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Perry. Okay, I'm going to connect to our server. And I think I can actually start from customer username like Perry. Yes, there it is.
Oh, welcome, Dave.
So Perry, here's the thing. It's sad because the camera is pointing at some stiff room and not you guys. Hold on, Perry. Here's what I'm going to do for Jeremy. Here, you want to see Jeremy for a second? But here's what I'm going to do. I really want those eyes, the 3D printed version files of those eyes.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Because those eyes are amazing. So in exchange for those eyes, I'm going to send you an email, and it's going to have a link in it which will allow you to connect to our telepresence robot here at the office. And you can drive it around with arrow keys. And you can come into the lab and you can view us and you can talk with us, all right? And everyone online can also see you do that. In exchange, we want 3D printed files of those amazing eyes.
Those eyes.
Those eyes.
Oh, this has to stay. Sad days.
Okay, Perry, check your email. All that work is making me hungry. Send some food. We're starting to get hungry. To toss up watching the Calgary Flames or this. Are the Flames actually winning? Both for now. Jared, take off your shirt.
You're not gonna like what you see.
We need to increase the viewer count.
I think it's gonna decrease the mood. You might have to take off yours, DJ. That's what they're hoping for.
It says they're not connected to the internet. The robot. Are they turned off?
Oh, they might be, yeah, they might be turned off actually.
Oh, yeah, they're off. There we go.
DJ's just turning on those telepresence robots. I think the last time the cleaners were here, they might have knocked them off the chargers and they got turned off.
All right.
Usually
Here. Who else do we have to keep online? We need to add some controls. Pan zoom. Okay, here. Let's give this to Pedro. PGC.
We're gonna do some dremeling. Warn your viewers.
Okay, everybody, it's gonna be really loud. Jeremy is about to Dremel. And Perry, check your email, and PTP, check your email as well. Both of you guys.
What do you mean the link? The link's not working?
The link should just click on the link. What does it say when you click on it? Perry, what does it say? Oh, I have a better idea. Okay, check this out. So do you see how this is far away because the servos are higher? And this is supposed to be in there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend that screw. That's what I'll do. It's going to look funny there, so let me think what else I could do. If I cut away I could also cut away at this foot, maybe to here. To there. And to there. So kind of like this.
Oh, somebody's in.
All right. Let's cut. Okay, use the arrow keys. Turn yourself around.
Hokey pokey.
Yeah, you just have to hit backwards. Go backwards. Hit the back arrow key. Hit the arrow key with the back. You hit it backwards. On your keyboard, hit the back key. There you go. You hit that. Okay, and I turn it right. Okay, I turn it right. Okay, I use the mouse on the screen. Click up higher so you can see it. There you go. Go on. You'll figure it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I got to clean this up here. There we go. All right, so now we're going to cut this away a little bit. So we're going to bring this and go like this. There we go. I think this is Perry. Is this Perry? Yeah. Yes, Perry and his wife.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Here, you want to see yourself on the camera?
I loved you.
There you go.
That's great.
So drive around and show people that you're connected. Oh, yeah, don't go too far back. All right, so I'm going to make a bunch of noise here in a second because I'm going to cut some of this plastic away here.
That's what I'm looking at right here.
Got the move right in front of you.
Oh, and
Okay, I'm going to make a bunch of noise, so you might want to cover your ears again. There's the glasses.
I'm gonna film for you.
Okay. A little louder.
Hey DJ, can you hear me?
Sure can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't express how cool this telepresence robot is.
Right?
Sitting here, my wife and myself, I'm enthralled. I'm looking all over, watching the different activities. And it really is. I wish everybody that's watching should have the ability to run this. Because it's just, it's incredible and it should go beyond.
So it's actually kind of interesting. We've been working on a new plugin, which is going to allow you to be able to turn all of your robots that you build with EZ Builder into one of these. So your in-move, you can use it as this. Your whatever. If you have an EZ-Robot, you can use it as a telepresence. So it's pretty wild, eh? I haven't checked the chat to see if anyone's asking any questions. So.
They're probably saying stop driving that Mary unless you drive it.
It's actually too bad that I couldn't allow everyone to drive it. That'd be wild. Okay, so back to hacking my robot here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to make enough room for this wheel to spin in here. So I have to cut some more of this away. So cover your ears again, everyone. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. That's great.
Hey DJ.
Hey.
Another thing I'm noticing here is that's a cool Dremel cabinet that you have. A lot of us that work on this type of stuff, Dremel, and it all ends up in the carpet or on the couch or what have you. It's kind of nice to see somebody that has a Dremel station that I see is pretty easy to clean up.
So that's actually interesting that you noticed this, because there's a story behind this. I always love stories. This didn't start off as a Dremel cabinet. If you take a look outside, you'll see all our line of 3D printers, that big farm of 3D printers there. So we actually had more than that when we were first designing the robots, because we had to design all the plastic pieces. We did it in 3D printers. We were having tons of issues with 3D prints separating from the build plates, especially on big stuff like a rollie body, right? So what we ended up doing, we found that if we wrapped the 3D printer in a garbage bag, the prints would work. So we went out to the store and bought all of these pieces of plastic, acrylic, and glue, and I made a whole bunch of these boxes. These used to be on top of the 3D printers back in the day. So Bob Houston probably remembers that when he used to come to our old office. We had all these 3D printers in boxes. And you have lids you can close. So we have a dozen of these boxes. I have one at home. Actually, I have two at home. We have a bunch in the back. So one day we realized that we were making a mess dremeling. So we picked up a piece of wood and screwed the box to it and cut a hole in the back for the plug. And now it works out really well so that we can keep most of the mess. Because you get a little bit of mess on the floor still, but not much.
Very cool.
Okay, so look at that. So because here, let me bring this camera closer. So because I cut away this piece here, now that will fit in there no problem, and it'll be nice against there. So let's go with this. There, like that. So this wheel will turn. Now we want the leg to move with the wheel still. So what we'll do is peel away some of this hot glue. And we'll have to, there's a hole here, and we'll put a screw through this hole here into the leg. And then when this rotates, hey, easy. And when this rotates, it will it'll move the leg with it.
Speakers.
Just want to make sure that I don't have to. The only thing I noticed is that this leg is not going down as far as it needs to reach that, to reach the bottom.
Gotten over the USB cable there,
I have to cut more of this here.
So I'm just hacking an
I
ROB.
cut this here.
Nintendo robot that didn't really do very much. Stack block.
Okay, cover your ears.
Sorry, could you repeat that, Barry?
Yep. I just asked if DJ Boys tries to make noise whenever you see on the camera.
So yeah, I put some RGB eyes into the ROB, so I'll probably be able to see them a little bit.
What is the robot again that you have there on the website?
Like all this together. What's its name? Is that what you're asking?
Or what's its origin? Did you build it?
Hold on, I'm making noise again.
I purchased it from a thrift store. It's Nintendo's robotic operating buddy. So it was actually used with 2 games back in the day. It wasn't very popular, but it did create a lot of hype for Nintendo. And so all it does is actually just turn and grab a block and stack it. And there's another game called Gyromite where it helps you open up doors. These two manipulators would come down and press the buttons on the controller, and it would kind of help you out that way. And they communicate with Nintendo via the two eyes through rule. I will have it around here. It's around here somewhere, but there's a little infrared board. Oh, here it is. Transmitter receiver board that they use. So the ROB is kind of like kind of a pop culture thing. They actually use it as a character in Super Smash Brothers, the game. So we'll see if people like this hack. Some people will probably think it's a travesty because it's such a rare item, but you know, I wanted to do something, so I'd rather not just have it sitting around.
I have a flash question for you.
Sure.
Right to the left of your monitor is something, and I'm curious if it's a gumball machine
It is.
or an offset turbo.
I just got this today. I like gumball machines, I like little candy machines, so I just picked it up for $8 at the dollar for what do you call that? The dollar goes.
Good night, Dave.
Oh, Dave's going to bed.
Snuffleupagus is going to bed. Good night, Snuffy. Okay, so I just got to do the exact same thing with the.
All right.
The other one.
Here.
All right, I'm going to move around to DJ, and if possible, I'd like to turn over control of this to somebody else, because I think it's really awesome.
You know what? It's a lot of work to set up. A lot of work to set up for other people to use. So I think we'll have to figure out how we can do something public and schedule it. So feel free to drive around with this as much as you want tonight. Hang out with us. You can you can meet the pizza guy.
Is goes up to I think 100 and have me limited to 22, unless you're willing to increase that limit to 100.
How long was the I think it was 10 minutes you had? It was set up for? All right, here we go.
But this really was interesting, and like I said, I think if people watching this could have the ability to try it out, that they could definitely duplicate it with, you know, what you have here in the software all over the place. I mean, I call it the ZR system for Jeremy. Yeah, I hope that really takes hold of it.
EZR. We're gonna get a T-shirt made for Jeremy just as EZR on it.
Get him one of those mugs.
Yeah, sure. That's a good idea.
Yeah, those mugs are unbelievable. The Justin got.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're definitely. I know that you're not a huge fan of the pink color, but I am. I think it's great.
Wow.
You'll come around to it.
Inability to hide the fact that you wanted one of those mugs and your response is answer enough. The big came across pretty good. DJ wants a mug.
Yeah, I really wasn't very subtle about that, was I? Okay, I'm gonna make a bunch of noise. Here I go. Perry, you're Canadian, aren't you?
that?
You're Canadian, aren't you? Are you from Canada?
No, my wife is from Nova Scotia, but I live up here in Vermont.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So I didn't know that Nova Scotians ate so much craft dinner. That's new to me.
Yeah, not really nationality, but they taste that pretty much
I think it's a Canadian thing. DJ and I both grew up on craft dinner.
Yeah, like I said though, the white stuff was the gourmet craft dinner.
That's all my dad knew how to make. Whenever my mom left, it was just craft dinner.
Okay, noise. Okay, so if all goes as planned, we should have 2 working legs. Let's see.
All right.
We'll put this down as far as it can go. This one seems a lot tighter. This one's way too tight.
Jump into this.
Okay, one sec. It's always funny. The only thing I always hear Dremel sounds make is no. Sounds like they're saying no. They just don't want to cut. Stop making me cut this toy up. No. Oh man.
Every moment that I'm on is closer to do.
No. You guys can go, Perry, you guys can go outside of the lab and drive around the office if you want to check it out. Go see the video game arcade.
Right now, I'm looking at that shelf for items that I may ask you to sell me for a discount.
So these items that are here are actually the R&D stuff that Jeremy uses for building things. It's kind of interesting the way our company works is we don't actually stock any inventory here in North America. Everything we have is in our warehouse overseas, and then we ship from there.
But you can send in a sample. Those are
Actually, here, turn around. I know what you want. You want this. Yeah, turn around and check this out. Everyone wants this. Oh, you're gonna miss it, or you can just look on the main camera. You guys want this? The EZ-Robot LiDAR. Soon, send us lots of emails and harass us lots, and that'll help the EZ-Robot get that product out quicker. Oh, look. This is Perry trying to figure out how to drive a robot. Oh, he's in my office. He's going in.
You did it.
Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. It looks like, doesn't look like this is going to cause any issues. Maybe, just maybe, I can bring this down just a little bit. I can do this with these rather than the Dremel. There we go. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we can hand the Dremel back over to Jeremy because he's got more of his 1980s retro collector's item toy that he wants to cut up. You know, we have another staff member who bought a $200 alien from the movie Alien prop.
You call it power loader?
Power loader. And you see the video, it'll be out pretty soon on our YouTube channel. But he spent a Friday night a couple weeks ago hacking this very expensive prop into into a robot, an EZ-Robot. Oh, interesting.
Oh, man. You cut a lot of weight. Cut a lot off that guy.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight, that's for sure. He's looking for a screw. Let's see.
I can see you. Yep. I can hear you.
Can you direct me to like a vending machine that has like Cheetos?
You can go to the arcade.
Not too much to see back there, but we're going back to it. No, we're not recording. There's some moments later on the live stream, but if you want to go come near me and then go down that way, you'll find the arcade.
Yeah, we're working that for the air.
No, but my brother-in-law actually is contracting down in Texas right now for NASA, so he got me the shirt.
Oh, you found it, eh? PTP? That's an old interview. Perfect. I got hot glue all over these connectors here. Hey, Jared, pass me your booze. There it is. The booze, spray the booze. Rubbing alcohol. Yeah, PTP, that article, that's from 2011, I think. That's actually kind of responsible why I started the company at all. It was because of that article. It's kind of interesting.
Yes. Yes.
Dude, I'm starting to get hungry. I have to order some food soon. That late lunch was good, but I need some food in my belly.
That time.
Yes, it is. Okay, I need an IO Tiny. Do we have one?
We have some in the back.
I need one.
All right, I'll grab it.
Okay, do I have a battery?
Yes.
I need a camera.
Oh, camera? Okay,
Okay, camera, IO Tiny, and nice. Where's, I don't get an EZ-Robot battery?
They're EZ-Robot batteries. This one another battery.
Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll put the IO Tiny in here, and then we'll put the camera. We'll wait to get the camera. We'll drum a hole for it there. And then also I said I want to see if the RGB 8x8 fits in here. Or not 8x8, but the RGB eyes. I happen to have some here. Let's see. Oh no! Darn. It's too, doesn't fit. That's too bad. That would have been neat. Okay, Jeremy will grab the battery, and I should put the switch in now. Let's do that. So I'll put the switch. Maybe his butt right there. Butt switch. Do you want a butt switch, robot? Oh, maybe. Maybe butt switch. Oh, maybe there. Yeah, let's do it in there so it's recessed. So it's hard to, somebody can accidentally flick it. And the battery put back here with the charging cable hanging out in this hole there. Let's see if there's enough room to charge the battery. Oh yeah, it's enough. Okay. There's a fuse on this. I'm just going to cut this right off. Actually, do I have another fuse that? There you go, sir. Thank you. Ooh. Isn't this what you wanted?
Gentlemen, can you hear me now?
Yes. I can. How you doing?
I returned this vehicle for your entire facility.
You haven't toured the whole facility. There's a warehouse in the back that you haven't had access to yet.
Well,
Next time. We'll see.
Next time.
I don't want to have to pay the attack cost.
Do you want to see how it charges itself? How you put the robot on its charger?
Yeah, you know what I really think is that, I mean, I can't express enough how much the technical cool out on the transformation, but just how cool that whole process was. I mean, I read the articles on it. I understand what it means. I you know, you hear the word telepresence, and that's the first time I ever moved the mouse, clicked buttons, and saw it. And it's incredible. And I recommend that, you know, you let somebody else try the same thing.
Well, it's pretty quiet tonight. I think it's starting to die down. It's pretty late in most places, but next time, I think what we'll do is we'll do some sort of sign up where maybe people can sign up ahead of time to try out to do the robot. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll do something on the website.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
Are you signing up?
How do I come down and how many people in now?
Oh, not many. There's 5 people in now. So
Okay.
yeah, not a lot of people in now. Okay, so now I'm going to move the servos. That's my next step. Are you going to put that back, or are you still driving around?
Put it back. I don't know where it started. Come on, you know how vectors work.
Well, I'm glad your experience was a positive one. Thanks for.
It was great. I hate stuff like this, and now having done it, I only, 27.5 hate it.
Nice. That's funny.
So I'm putting.
I'll let you do it for me.
Okay, well here I'll show you how to do it.
Very much for the opportunity. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, man.
At control and go back to the main screen and once again, thanks. It's been a very cool night.
Cool. I'm glad you had fun.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Okay, so I have, this is another Wi-Fi dongle, so I'm going to put this in because I already have Wi-Fi on my computer, and I want to connect to the IoTiny, so I want two internet connections, essentially. Okay, so, oh, I didn't screw these on yet. The wheel fell off.
Oh, it's funny that wheels on release.
Gotta screw this wheel back on. There's little black screws that come with the servos. There's one here. Because I cut a hole in here, I can drop this in. And I can screw that wheel on so it doesn't fall off. Because on the other end of it, remember we put this bracket in there. And on this side, we'll do the same thing. Find the screw, drop it in. Oh no. Oh, that screw further didn't fit. Too small. This one will. What kind of pizza do you want, Jer? Pizza 73. Panago.
I don't know those my go-to, but
It's you and Alan, Panago brothers. I don't mind Panago. Panago's a good pizza. I'm going to put this screw, proper screwdriver, there we go, to hold this leg through this. There we go. Like this.
all right, let's go through it. Go.
All right. So we'll cut the hole for
Let's go down here.
this. Let's go back to the Dremel. Oh no, someone left a robot here. Get out of here, robot. You know, I was worried that having a bunch of cameras around would not be very much fun, but I don't mind this. It's kind of neat. Uh-oh. Get in there. Get in your home. There we go. Perfect. Nice. And then because I'm a real sloppy Dremel cutter, we'll put a little bit of hot glue here to hold it. There we go. The only thing about filming live a build is everyone gets to see how sloppy I truly am. And what's good about it though is it's going to increase the confidence of most people who watch my robot builds. And they're going to go, wow, I'm actually way better than DJ at building robots. Okay, so la 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 la.
Don't worry, man. Just go sloppy. All right, try to match up all the colors.
You notice how you set me up for that one and I didn't make any mum jokes?
I'm glad you held that.
See, I'm mature. Here we go. IO Tiny, right from a package. Ooh. Brand new. Rare that I get to open up anything brand new. I always get Jeremy's seconds.
Like the batteries.
Like the old batteries. Yeah. Is this what happens to my dog when I sent him to get neutered? I don't know, if I sent my dog away and he came back as a robot. Yeah. I have a dog. I have a dog with my ex-girlfriend. His name is Deacon. He's a Chihuahua. And he's getting old, like 13 years old right now. And when he dies, I keep telling her that we're going to turn her and get him, what do you call it, taxidermied? And then I'm going to turn, and then Chihuahua, and then I'm going to turn him into a robot. I'm only half joking.
I know you will. I know you will do that.
So I don't know if she'll let me do that.
I'm scared for seeing this dog with weird eyes looking all over the place.
To say it's going to be weird. I mean, it's going to have a whole lot of hot glue. Like, that's expected. And I would appreciate not hand-me-down robot parts next either.
Only the best for stinking.
For stinking Dinkin. His name is Deacon. Okay, so let's see if I can get, man, I got a lot of hot glue on everything. Oh, so much hot glue. It's like not even an acceptable amount of hot glue. It's getting carried away. Okay, so D0 and D1. And what I'll do is I'll plug the speaker in that it came with. Where's the other tiny speaker? Here it is here. Just so for some audio for the time being.
Stripping some wires.
There we go. And then we'll give it some power. Hello, IO Tiny. Okay, so that works. So next thing is we have to hook up, turn the power off. We have to hook up the speaker to this. So these speaker wires kind of suck. I'm just going to pull them off, or break them off, or cut them off, get rid of them. And actually, what I'll do is I'm going to use one of these peripheral cables. I know it's 3-prong, but I don't have any 2-prong. 3-prong is fine. And I'll just use, cut the end off. It only needs to be like that long. Cut this off. Boom. Throw the garbage. Now I just use the black and white off this. So I'll take this, or black and red, sorry, take the white away and cut it.
All right, let's do some soldering.
Trim these.
Bring it over.
Okay. Now look at my soldering iron cranked to 900 degrees.
Over 9,000. Use my 3D printed helping hand.
And I'll solder these guys. Some soldering wires, power wires onto the speaker. At 900 degrees Fahrenheit solder temperature, so that's what I recommend. And then I would, and I do. I just plug this into the tiny into the speaker connector here. Okay, so now let's power it up and let's see if we get some. See if it introduces itself. Hello, IoTiny. I am DJ.
Oh, some good bass going on.
Yeah, it's got. Sounds good. Okay, so lots of room in there too. 900F or 900 or 900K? What does that mean?
Kelvin.
For what?
Your soldering iron.
Oh, 900F.
It really should be about 750, yeah.
No, it should be 900.
No, it should not.
Here's the thing. What are you saving your time for? Saving your.
Save your tips. So you don't always have to use.
I've had this tip for how many years? Before we even moved into this
But you
facility.
don't have to use the tip if you don't use that.
It's a great tip.
Temperature.
It's a great tip. Here, touch it. Tell me if it's not a good tip.
I already burned myself once tonight. I don't need another time.
All right, here we go. So let's connect to the IoTiny on this robot here with EZ Builder. So I have 2 network adapters in here right now. So I'll connect to the IoTiny. That way I don't lose the connection I have for all of you guys.
See if I can get this a little closer.
Now let's add go to servos. We'll add a continuous rotation servo movement panel. And I put one wheel on D0. I don't know which one is what. We'll figure it out in a second. Another one on D1. There we go. Well, let's see if it works. Okay, they seem to be backwards. So this one is D1. This one is D0. Let's try it out. Easy moves fast. Is there? I wonder if there's a Playskool MP3 file. Playskool made for me MP3. I want an MP3, not music player, just MP3. Playskool have like a song.
I don't know.
Is Digger a character from any TV show? Digger dog boy? What kind of music am I going to give it? How about children music MP3? Children background music, archive.org. That'll do it.
What that shark song that you're telling me so much about?
It'll get flagged on YouTube in no time now. Oh, that's nice. I like that one. Ooh, that's even better. Let's go with this one. Okay, can I download it from here? What's the download button? This one? No. Is this the download button? Is the download button? It's an upload button. Can you download from archive.org?
I think so.
If you think, can you show me how you think? Because I can't. I can't seem to think. All I can do is seem to play music. So maybe this is the wrong place to be for MP3 files. It's okay. We will go to a different website, like this one, freekidsmusic.com.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It's really slow. No wonder why it's free. It runs on a server run by wind power and a squirrel. Oh, it's too slow. I can't use that website. Attention span isn't long enough. Listen to songs. Listen to sheet music. I have no idea. Okay, I have an idea. We have lots of music from other apps. So let's just go to audio. We'll add the boom, boom, soundboard. And let's look inside of AdventureBot. How about this? And then we also have, oh, this one. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so we'll disconnect. We'll just save this for now. We'll call it Digger, the Doug. Okay, so we need a camera now. Where's that? That's an easy fix, easy hack. Just it looks like I just have to cut away some of that material there. Cut away that material. All right. Let's do that. Back to the Dremel.
Back to the Dremel board.
Here comes the hot glue. You're right, Perry. It's coming soon. Right after I Dremel this guy, cut him up. Okay, so we'll just take away this front piece here. Actually, I could have done most of that with a pair of pliers and a pair of cutters like this. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Cut this way too. Okay, something like that. Hope this fits. I guess we're about to find out, right? It could be really creepy and put it in his eye. Give him a cyborg eye. Or, yeah, that's... Okay. Cover your ears, everyone. It's Dremel time. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put hot glue right there and hold the servo or the camera right like that.
I didn't read this until now, but he said, what audio? All I hear is the drill.
Lots of adrenaline. There, the camera, we'll just glue that in there, wait for it to dry. I don't want the camera to view the ground, so I'm trying to hold it back a little bit, like this. And now that I believe it's in a position we want it to be in, like this. Just put a little bit more glue. You know, for a company that has so many 3D printers, we sure use a lot of glue. I think I don't have the patience for 3D printers. There, it looks good. Wait for it to dry though. We have no cans of compressed air, eh? It's my worst nightmare. Where do you order compressed air from?
Do it from Amazon, I guess.
Oh yeah. It takes so long to dry your glue. Dry glue, dry. That looks good. Now when this goes on, okay, I have to cut. It looks like a little more. In the meantime, let's just take all this out for the time being. See how much we have to cut away on the top for the. Oh no, I have to cut away more than I thought. Hmm. 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 What are we gonna do? Bring it down. Okay, I know. So this glue here should be dry, which is nice. So we'll just spray some rubbing alcohol there. That'll loosen up the glue. See, when the glue is loose like that, see how easy it comes apart? There we go. Right for the glue to dry, or the rubbing alcohol to dry. And we'll bring it down a little bit. So we'll cut down here too. Let's bring this back. Ooh, this is adventurous. There we go. Oh yeah, that's nice, huh? Look at that. It's way better. And then if we put this lid on top. Cool. Okay. So that's what we want. We want this guy to be as low as she can go. Some glue down there. Boop, 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 boop. You just hold it like that for the time being. Perfect. And then this will fit on top. Like that. So trim this a little bit. Look at that. I think it's made for a camera in his nose. Digger. Okay. So let's put it together and then we can program them. Am I able to speak directly to you? Hot glue. You mean like talk to me? Check your email. What's in my email? PTP sent me emails. Yeah, I did. I sent that to you, PTP, earlier, but it expired. It allowed you to drive the robot around. Perry, you're speaking directly to me, but to everybody. Everyone sees the message. It's public. Oh, where's my camera? I am tiny. All right. Okay, so this is all dried. Almost all dried. Need to log off, brother. So much fun. Next week, let other people drive. Yes. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah. This is what we do every Friday. So I felt like making it live was a good idea. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah. Let me know your feedback as well on the forum, right? Like what you guys thought. Like if you want us to put music in the background while we're playing, because usually we have music, or we can order pizza together. Okay.
We can do a pizza poll, so we can choose what pizza we get.
What kind of pizza we eat? Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. If someone doesn't like us, they're going to choose something.
No, we choose the place, and then we order the pizza flavors.
They just get to choose the place?
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Well,
oh, he says Perry's not going to come on the website because of the pink. You will learn to like it. I did. Okay, so this is going to be.
Just tell him he must assimilate. Assimilate.
Exterminate. Okay, I forget which server was what, but we can change those later. D0. 31. Power. And where did I decide to put the battery? Right here. Battery will just sit there like this. Power up. This. Okay. Power's up. IO Tiny has all that. Now we have to take the camera up. So the camera connects to. You have a program where you can transfer to another site. Like I could make those eyes in an hour, then you could have a second set. Show me. You need to make those eyes for me. I want those eyes. I'll let you drive the robot. Fair trade. Those eyes are next to, like, you know, there's a lot of people making some pretty cool stuff, but those eyes are just really neat. I could picture those on my desk, right? They will look into your souls. You must be drinking the moose head. Okay, so I put it together. Now she just needs a couple screws to hold it in place. They put the longest screws in the world into these things. Good news though is that I never put something back together the way I found it. So it came with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. I put it back together with 2. That's good enough. Let's turn it on. Power it up. Okay, so let's go back to our free Jeremy, he says. So back to our project. Connect to the robots, Wi-Fi. There we are. Connect. And then now I should be able to, oh, these are backwards again. I plugged them in backwards this time. All right. Okay, now let's add a camera. Add camera. Connect to that. There we go. The camera's working. All right. Let's take. He's looking into your soul, Jeremy. Maybe there's some dog MP3 files. Like, is there such a thing as dog music?
There's a Looney Tune dog, right?
A Looney Tune dog?
Yeah.
Dark bark sounds. Oh, I really don't want barking sounds.
I guess Goofy is a Looney Tune dog. Pluto as well. Pluto didn't say much.
I'm gonna put that one on. Okay, so download that. Let's see, I make a folder for this dog called Digger Sounds. I like to save all the sound effects and all the files that before I put in my project. Just in case I lose them. Let's try that out. Okay, that's annoying.
That's a good one. I like that one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
I'll put that one in there too. I'll get a bunch of different dog sounds. That one's just called Bark.
Put the wiring harness on. I'm fair ways behind DJ tonight, which is usually the case.
Ooh, this one is going to be super annoying because it's a howl. Dog drinking.
Yeah, that's on our switch sequence.
Okay, so we have a bunch of different dog sounds. That's good enough. Let's make an app now so we can drive the dog around. So we'll go into mobile interface builder.
There we go. It's working.
And we'll make an app. So I have the camera, put that there, make it bigger. 400 by 280. We'll put connection button. Oops. We'll put a joystick pad here. Make it a variable speed control. And we'll just add a bunch of buttons for different sound effects. So this one is Pac-Man, we'll call it.
Some regulators.
Audio, Pac-Man. Another button. This one is Cowboy. Audio, Cowboy. Another button. And this is Dog Bark 1. Oops, not Dog Park, Dog Bark.
Two.
And another button for Bark 2.
Just get this. Okay. Do
Audio, Dog Bark 2. And then this one will be our whine, or howl, whatever it was. Howl.
make him say something from Family Guy. I don't watch Family Guy very often.
Let's move this to desktop too, so we got some room. Like Brian, the dog.
Oh, that's what he said.
There we go. Okay, we'll save this. And where's my phone? Okay, let's put this on the cloud so I can load it on my phone. So we'll call this DJ's Digger Dog. I won't make it public because you guys don't need to see this. I'll click save. Ooh, we need a tag. I'll just put complete. All right. This is my first
sheet.
save. Cool. All right, so now we'll take my phone. Let's do this. So let's load EZ Builder on here. And let's look at apps that I've installed, I made. And there's Digger. And we'll download and install it. And then we'll connect to the Wi-Fi for the Digger. That one there. and connect. There we go. That's kind of fast. Might have to change it around a little. All right, let's try it on the floor. So his wheels kind of skip a lot. They don't. They spin, but he doesn't go anywhere. So I think I have to put some elastic bands around his wheels. I'm gonna do that next.
3D print some flexible filament.
3D printers take too long.
You want a rapid prototype? I know. Yeah.
How do you close an app on an iPhone? Jesus. There we go. Okay, let's find some elastic bands that work with this guy. We'll put some around here. Or I could just put some hot glue, might work as well.
Oh man.
No?
No.
Don't do the hot glue?
No. Try these.
Okay, we'll do elastic bands.
I know we have much. Those they'll catch at some points and slip others, and it's just fun.
Okay. Ooh, we have blue elastic bands. Those are the ones that Canada Post always gives us. It's a little big, but what I can do is cut it and glue it. That'll work fine. Because wrapping it around twice, that might not be a bad idea, wrapping it around twice.
All right.
Take this off. So we make it nice and flat. As flat as we can get it.
Set this guy up. I'm going to test out the motors. See how that goes.
This looks like it'll work. Might just need a little bit of glue to hold the elastic on so it doesn't slip off. I'll wait till I get it on first before I start trying to glue it.
Okay. New ones.
There we go.
Okay.
It's harder than it looks.
Okay.
Oh, I know what to do. Let's go to the glue gun. What are you doing, Jer? How's it coming along?
Not bad. Okay.
Any hate mail from hacking the robot that has a collector's item?
It's going to be tricky to put all this stuff into one little space, so we'll make it happen.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put a drop of hot glue here just to hold the elastic on temporarily. There we go, just like that. Cut that off.
see if we can see the eyes. There are RGB eyes through that.
I wonder if we could do this on the other wheel without actually taking the whole thing off.
Okay, you can see it. Not too bad. Actually looks pretty cool.
Holy neat, that is wild. Let's check out the blur instead. Check out his Roby eyes. Hold on. Mind the blurriness for a second. There we go. Here, where is it on your computer, or you don't have an animation yet, eh?
No.
Okay. When we animate that, that's gonna look really good.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Is there anything stopping them from getting closer to the?
Yeah, I would have to do some extensive hacking to make it come closer.
We all know you're too much of a wimp to do that.
That's true.
Okay. So the next one.
So you hungry yet?
I'm starving. One of us has to take the initiative to order pizza.
All right.
I could do it in a sec.
Your stream is the more popular one, so I'm gonna have to, I think I'll have to do it. What kind of pizza do you want?
Meat. Meat pizza.
Bacon or no bacon?
I don't care. As long as there's other meats on it than bacon, like sausage and
More sausage.
pepperoni. This is ballsy if I can do it while it's actually on the robot. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And just a little bit under there. So, cool. That's better. Now he's gonna rock it. Okay. Mind the blurriness is on.
More deli. You know what that one? Medium or large?
We're ordering two mediums. So we should have text pizza.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. We install that. And where's the digger? Open. Connects. This is the app we just made. Oh yeah. Remote control. Here we go. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
He's fast. Cool. Okay, so that was fun. Now, let's make him track some colors. So let's make him chase a ball or something, because that will be fun. So we'll do that in Easy Builder. Connect back to them. There we go. I wonder if you guys can see the screen okay. Kind of, eh? Let's bring it down so you can see better. There we go. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. First, let's figure out what speed we want him to drive at. So we're going to go into the servo movement panel here, and let's move these down. So the 90 position 90 is stop, close to it. And let's find out if that's true. Yep, he's not moving at 90. So I'm hitting test. So let's go to 100. That's a pretty good speed. So let's move this one to 80. Let's see how that one moves. I'm going to put him on the ground and see if he moves straight. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to just go, this one will be 80. This is the reverse direction. And this one here, forward value will be 100 rather than 180. 100. That will give us a lot more control over the speed. Save this project. Okay, so let's take a look on the ground and see what kind of speed we just did. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Let's try it out. Oops, where's the button? That is a more appropriate speed. Okay, so now we want this control to move and chase a ball of some sort. So let me find something red. There we go. Here's my red ball. Wilson! So we're going to make him chase Wilson. So I'm going to put the ball in front of him. And we're going to go to multicolor, and we're going to create a color for this ball. So let's go like this. So I'm removing all the other colors. Except for my shirt. Looks like he's picking up a little bit of my shirt. But if I hold him like this, he looks like not really picking up a lot of their stuff. So what I'll do is I'll put the robot on the ground with the ball. Okay, so that's what I did. I'll go back to the screen. And we can see the robot looking at the ball there. You can see it. So let's just we're fine tune this and make sure this is perfect. That looks good. We don't need to see the whole ball, because if we bring it all the way down, we might pick up colors that we're not expecting to pick up. So that's probably good there. Okay, now we can turn on multicolor. you can see the robot's detecting the ball. So we'll drive it around. See that? See it's got a square on the ball? What we'll do now is we'll go into, first we'll turn off multicolor because we don't want it to run away. Go into our motion here and we'll turn on movement tracking under this configuration. So we allow forward, left, and right. We'll use the speed settings and we'll turn on dynamic turning. So it'll go full speed when it's chasing the ball, and its slowest speed it'll go is 10 when it's turning towards the object. And that should be good. And then we have these two lines, and that's going to determine if it's going to go forward or turn left or right. So we can actually bring these in a bit. Okay, so now if I turn on multicolor, the robot should start tracking the ball right now. Hey, come back here. Come on. There you go. Over here. Oh, it's going after the needle box with red. Cool. Okay. All right, see you, PTP. All right, so now we have the robot tracking the ball. Cool. So maybe the next thing to do is add a button. Let's go back to our computer here, make sure you can see it. I know I should do a screen capture next time, but we have to put up with this. But we'll add a button or checkbox. So we'll do add a checkbox right here. And we'll call this, we'll put some text beside it. Just a label. And we'll type in chase ball. Make the font a little bit bigger. There. So the code for this, so when the checkbox is checked, so we'll say if the text box is checked, checkbox equals true, then we want the robot under camera here to enable motion tracking, or movement tracking, sorry, enable movement tracking. Boom. And then else, we want it to disable movement tracking disable. There we go. And if. We could have done this in Blockly as well. All right, so that's what this, oh, you know what else we want to do? Actually, we have movement tracking. This is actually wrong. I did this wrong because movement tracking is always enabled. So instead, we want to actually enable multicolor. That's what we want to do. We want to go to camera, multicolor tracking, enable. And then under, when it's not checked, we want multi-camera tracking disabled. There's no point for it to always track the object, right? So we'll click save. There.
I've already copied this before, where you can't enter the address of a. Can't order because you can't enter an address.
Okay, so here we go. Now, let's try our checkbox here. And we turn the checkbox off, he stops tracking the ball. Perfect. Okay, so now he's in front. Now we'll turn the checkbox on. And he'll track the ball. Great. We'll save this. Sweet. That's awesome. Okay, I think we're gonna get some food. I said that we're gonna go to 11 o'clock. It's 10:56. So I'm gonna shut my stream off now because I have a robot that is working. And then next week when we do another stream, by then maybe you guys can ask some questions if you want to see some programming on this or on another robot that I do or something, because why not? Robots are cool. Okay, how do I stop this thing? Ooh, there's a big button called end stream. Ready for this? Bye.